Hi, I'm Britt.
And my name is Alissa.
And this is SkeleTales.
And this is a podcast where we strive to answer the age-old question of, is my dead grandma watching me?
Alissa, you know when you've been sitting in an odd position for too long and you stand up and your foot is tingly asleep?
Mm-hmm.
You think it's because of blood flow?
Yeah.
Grandma. Yep.
She's in possession? Is it like grandma
She's giving
foot?
you the dead leg. Giving you the dead leg.
Like, is that her trying to possess me? So she's only got the foot? She's only got
like
the foot?
She's trying. She's like, I'm going up the foot. And then you shake it and you're like shaking grandma off you. Yeah.
I sit on the floor almost every podcast that we record here. I don't know if everyone at home knows this. And my foot falls asleep. Literally, like every single episode, to the point where I have to scream and tell Britt to stop for a second so my foot can wake up. She's with us. That's what that means.
She's with us always.
Grandma's
but you
with
know
us.
what's so funny is before we were recording, you were like, my foot fell asleep. But you don't know this. I wrote before we were recording, grandma, leg asleep. I had already decided to do that.
The psychics.
It's zink,
also
zink.
because my foot falls asleep like every time. And then we dream
Probably
about
that's
desks.
where I was inspired by.
We dream about chairs over here. Listen, everyone, we got a merch shop. Like, buy us a chair. I have chairs.
Buy us a chair.
Can we put that on our merch list? Chair.
It just has to
desk,
be
a door.
You could just office
space
that's padded.
You know what? The reason is because I've got like a nice backdrop in this room. And that's why I record over here. Because of the audio or the videos that we have not posted. How long have we been doing this now? 30 episodes in?
31.
31 episodes.
31.
And we have yet to post a video of this beautiful, rad background. I just need to go sit in the other room. I think I'm going to do it. I'm going to paint the wall green. I think I've decided. You know what will occur though if I sit in the other room, we have the wild card of Mitch coming out of the bathroom, out of the shower and walking by naked.
Now that's what we'll post to YouTube.
Yeah, which happened recently during a Zoom video. Like at the last, I had a little Zoom meetup with my college girlfriends, the ones that Old Spooky House, Worcester, Armpit of New England, all those roommates. There's like 7 or 8
They
of us.
all saw naked Mitch?
Yes, Mitch walks by in the background because I kind of had forgotten, or maybe I just didn't even mention it to him. And so he walks by. Someone was actually telling a really serious, intense story during this time. And then Mitch is like, oh my God, who are those people? What the shit? Alyssa, are you on a Zoom call? Oh my God. Oh my God, I was naked. So like, it was trying to balance.
I am delighted by that.
Emotions. And one of them one out of the like 7, like kind of did a little double take, like, but she said she didn't see anything from the way it was from the waist up.
She's like, screenshot.
He's like, why would you do that? It didn't even occur to me. He very well could have just walked up full frontal right next to me because I gave him 0 warning. He had no idea what was happening.
I'm ready for that wild card. I think it'd be fun because we do record these, so it'll be documented.
Maybe I'll try to make that happen. I'm gonna like start recording in weird ass places just to try to catch Mitch naked. You're like, what the hell?
That could be
like,
fun for our TikTok.
Yeah. Just play myself right in front of the bathroom door while he's showering. Be like, oh, how'd that happen?
Oh God. So besides naked husband stories, we also tell other spooky stories and paranormal things.
Yeah, strange coincidences, bizarre phenomena like UFOs, cryptid, Bigfoot. I want to hear like parallel universes, dimension time travelers.
Yes.
Yeah.
If that exists, I am in. Honestly, if it is like interesting and a little strange, I'm on board.
Heck yeah. Oh, I just saw a video about some guy who was a botanist, inhaled a pine seed tree, pine
cone?
Nut? No. Like,
A nut?
Not a pine. He inhaled a pine nut. No, conifers. I think they have like spores. I think they like.
Okay.
Okay. So he inhaled some spores or whatever. Regardless, a fucking pine tree ended up growing in his lung.
Stop.
I'm serious.
Did he die?
No, they thought he had cancer. It was like actually a very good thing because they thought they did like scans and thought he had cancer and goes in and pulls
and
out
then
a
they
fucking
did the
pine
scan
tree.
and it's a fucking evergreen in his lungs.
Love to hear stories like that, please.
Hell yeah, bring it.
Yeah.
Bring it. Oh, I'm going to give you a little teaser here. I have a stalker story for you. Not my story, but it's unique enough and strange enough that you're going to want to hear it.
I definitely want to hear it. I already have questions. Not even like stalker stories are scary, man. Those can get real scary.
We do tell a few scary stories here.
Yeah.
So,
ooh. That's like treading in true crime territory.
Yeah.
Yeah. We could take a couple of those.
What are we talking about today?
Hey, you know what? We're talking about anything that our dear listeners want to talk about today. We're answering questions. We're going to dip into the vast wells of knowledge that we have accumulated over the past 30 episodes, and we are going to answer your questions, whatever they may be, with great authority. And
hopefully not long-winded.
Hopefully not long-winded. We'll do our best. We need to set some timers. I need or a spray bottle like a cat. Someone needs to start spraying me when I keep talking. Like, listen.
Although we're on Zoom, so we just get our computers wet.
That's true. Or zapper. Like I need a dog collar. We could do that. One of those like a shock collar. Just zap me when I need to stop talking.
Through an app.
Yeah. Zap.
Let's get into it. I was supposed to ask this last episode, but what is your favorite cereal?
I'm a big fan of some Cinnamon Life cereal, but it's made out of corn and it will make me poop for days. Corn is in so many cereals. So I also I do like me some Crispix. That's still corn.
Oh, yeah.
Crispix. Honeycombs. I love cereal, man.
You could do rice checks, right?
Yeah, I could do wheat checks. I can do some wheat checks. Really, right now, my favorite cereal is some like Big Bear granola or something. Do you know what that is? It's like
a
chocolate cashew chocolate one. That one's pretty tasty, and I just get to eat chocolate for breakfast.
Granola is kind of chewy though, isn't it? Like you're chewing on the...
Yeah, that's okay.
All right.
I mean, wait, do you not eat chewy foods? Do you...
I just, I don't know. Is granola a cereal? I guess that's a good question.
Oh, okay. Like, I also really love Lucky Charms. I mean, but I always regret eating Lucky Charms. It's like it's like McDonald's or Burger King or any of those places. Like, it tastes so good in the mouth, and then everything else after that is like all regret. So what about you? What's your favorite cereal?
Cocoa Krispies.
Oh, no.
Love me some Cocoa Krispies.
Really?
But I can't again with the regrets because it's like you finish eating and you feel around in your mouth. You're like, it is real greasy in here.
Yeah.
So for everyday eating, I usually go for like rice checks or grape nuts. Sometimes I'd like a good grape nut.
Okay. Cocoa Krispies, gross. Cocoa Puffs, gross. Anything that is a chocolate cereal.
You were just saying how you love chocolate for the breakfast.
No. I like the chocolate chunks in the granola because it's just literally just eating chunks of chocolate, like dark chocolate. I do not like any chocolate flavored cereal because it makes your milk chocolate. I don't like how it makes...
That's the best. And then you finish and you're like, chocolate milk.
Nope. I don't like chocolate milk. I think it's nasty. I've never liked how it turns my milk chocolate. But the feeling in the mouth reminded me of how much I love freaking peanut butter Captain Crunch. Holy shit. I love that.
Oh, it is pretty good.
Tears your mouth to shreds.
Cuts that roof up.
Oh, yeah. Just choppity choppa. Love it. Also made of corn. Can't eat it anymore. Real pain in the ass.
Jeez. This was like, just me bringing up cereal is just like pouring salt on the wound because you can't eat
It's
half
all
of
corn.
them.
You do not realize how much of the world is made of corn. My question for you, Britt, but also Calico Letters and Words question is, what's the deal with aliens? Are they among us? I thought it's a great one for you to answer, Britt.
Yeah. All right, let me pull out my big book of aliens that I have here. Aliens, for the universe is vast and infinite. There is very probably aliens out there on some distant universe. That is a possible fact.
Okay.
Whether there are aliens on Earth walking among us and then they come home from their work at the office and they rip off their rubber human mask and they're like, meow, 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 and, buzz back to the, alien towers. Unprobable, in my opinion.
Interesting.
And scientific knowledge. I think that there's, with the UFOs, though, UFO just means unidentified flying object. UFOs for sure exist because there are strange things flying that, what is that strange thing? It is unidentified. I don't know. Whether that's an alien, I don't know. I say government, but some people do believe there's a little green man in there. We keep teasing about doing a UFO episode, and perhaps one day we will.
I know, but I'm gonna have to go get a story because we haven't had anyone write in about it. Really,
I know we don't have any.
But what I'm hearing from you, Britt, is what I'm viewing as a very I don't want to use the word narrow-minded. I want to use the word
narrow-minded.
Maybe
no, I am open to life on other planets.
A preconceived idea. Like, that was interesting that's what you think a UFO or an alien would be someone who's masquerading as a human or this and that, or even from another universe, because I think that they could be interdimensional. But the government has just again confirmed that video taken by this aircraft carrier pilots, it's real. They cannot explain how these things are moving. They can't explain. Well, they might be able to explain. They're not explaining. My approach to it, I have always definitely discounted aliens for most of my life. That's crazy. Okay. People are cuckoo bananas. You're dumb. Not dumb, but like, okay, wackadoodle. But I had a moment of realization that I think we've been brainwashed by the government. It's been an intentional disinformation campaign to, and now that more things are coming out, that's what I'm saying. Now that like a whole bunch of naval officers and past like Pentagon officials have come out, they're like, no, this is real. We've got to investigate this more. This is real. Because I listened to I listened to Stuff They Don't Want You to Know, which is a conspiracy realist podcast. It's a great show, I think. It's just interesting. They cover all sorts of stuff like chemtrails, and then look at chemtrails and be like, this is the evidence for, this is the evidence against. Yes. Like, has the government ever spread gases upon the US people before, right? Like, oh, actually, yeah, they have. In St. Louis, they went and just spread like nerve agent or something in this like a black.
I didn't know that.
Exactly. That's the thing. That's the freaky thing is that the Tuskegee syphilis experiments, I believe.
Yes, the trials.
Right, trials.
Yeah.
Like there is a history of the U.S. government and other foreign governments being real shitty to their people.
Yeah, well, and so of course the government would like pull a stunt like this, though, right?
There's a couple interesting theories. So Tom DeLonge from Blink-182. I don't know any of the songs anymore. I can't remember. He has like Beyond the Stars Academy. He's huge into UFOs. And he's like one of the big ones who's pushing for the release of information. There's Skinwalker Ranch, where a lot of phenomena apparently occur.
I would love to talk about Skinwalker Ranch.
Is that the name of it? Skinwalker? Because now I'm like, am I mixing a cryptid with the name of that ranch? I think it is.
Well, I know that Skinwalkers is like a type of haunting thing, but then there is a ranch. I'm pretty sure it's called Skinwalker Ranch.
So he says that he's always been interested in it apparently, and he says that there is a very good reason why they're not just telling the people of Earth that there are UFOs and that extraterrestrials exist, because they're just not ready for it or something. And I hate that. I want to know, like, there's an idea that maybe we're just a like freaking little petri dish of an experiment, like we're a zoo, and that we're just, we are planted here and they just kind of observe us to see what happens. We're just some sort of,
oh, I hate that idea
right?
So
but
much.
It's a possibility, right? There's another thing that like so many of the UFO sightings ended up happening after all the atomic testing began too, that like we opened some portal. Also that this has been suppressed by the government because there have been very highly religious members of the government, conservative members, who literally thought it was like the devil and demons.
Oh, and it proves that there isn't a god or whatever.
I just think it's very fascinating. I think the thing that fascinates me most is high-ranking officials putting their reputation on the line. Harry Reid is one of them, putting their reputation on the line and saying, hey, this stuff is real. We need to look into it. And that,
listen, I'm open to having my mind changed for sure.
Yes.
If I wasn't open-minded, this would be a dumb podcast for me to have. Us to have. So I am open to having my mind changed, but the government just withholds so much stuff. Even if a high-ranking official sees it, that doesn't mean there's not some other, subgroup of the government who is also doing stuff that dude just doesn't know about.
Oh, yeah. I think it's called like black money. I mean, there are, I want to say, billions of dollars that are kind of unaccounted for in government spending that go into these things. Even like their experiments, there's been experiments, including UFO like research, that were on the books supposed to like stop in 97 or something, but then they come out and they're like, oh no, actually that kept on going and it's still like things that they tell us that are gone. Somehow with this whole coronavirus bill or all the CARES Act or whatever, part of that was a release. They tied in a release of all UFO information that the Pentagon has or something into that. So answers are forthcoming, apparently. And so I watched this one documentary, though, that was like, this is what's going to happen. This was a couple of years ago. And I approach it with a skeptic's mind. I'm just very curious. I just want to know, like, what are these things if they are not government, right? Like, what is it? But that they would first, like, basically this documentary a couple years ago predicted Space Force being formed and said that they're going to fabricate a war from aliens, like some sort of space, because that's where the money is. They're going to like fabricate a war and say it's aliens when it's actually not aliens.
Straight up. Like a movie.
And that will like unite the worlds or some shit. I can't remember the whole documentary, but that was it. And I was like, whoa, Space Force, step 1, cut the bangs. Step 2, Space Force. Oh my God. I want Space Force all have mandatory bang haircuts now. That's good.
And they have to be the ones that's like a good 2 inches above the eyebrow.
Yeah.
Real straight, real short. Dumb and Dumber style.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a 4-minute
That was
answer.
That was a long one. That needs to be a whole episode.
So
our authoritative answer? Yes. They're here. And Britt says no. Divided.
All right. Divided. All right, I've got a question for you. Do you think forests can be haunted? I'm of the opinion that forests are not haunted. They're just full of animals and people that want to murder you. I've never been to the, and I'm going to mispronounce this, I'm very sorry, Akogahara Forest in Japan, or the Suicide Forest. Have you heard of this place?
I have.
That's supposedly very haunted. But I have been to battleground sites in forest settings and felt nothing but the joy of being outside. What are your thoughts?
I only know that Suicide Forest from Jake Paul is a YouTuber, and apparently he went there and like recorded dead bodies and put them on YouTube. So that's how I know what it is, but I don't know much.
Actually,
yes.
Videos of
yeah.
Jesus.
And what I think is people like jump off a cliff or something into this forest, and that's how they die. That's pretty much, that's all I know. That could probably be its own episode of its own. But a forest being haunted by itself, yes, I say yes, it can be haunted. I haven't experienced it myself, but
because you're outdoors a lot. Like, but you have had feelings in certain areas where you're like, this feels dark here.
I told you,
this,
yeah.
it's in, yes.
And I didn't think about that when I was answering it, but yeah, it's like Taylor Mountain where freaking Bundy put his poor murder victims.
Mm-hmm.
That did not feel right. It was off. Not that I saw ghosts or visions, but there's some energy. Like maybe there could be
feeling.
Some bad energy. Yeah, I think yes.
I'm with you. I think forests can be haunted. I mean, forest spirits, like that's a thing from Native Americans. Like the forest is alive.
Yeah.
And with any kind of energy, there can be positive and negative. Whether there's like ghosts roaming around, I don't know. But I do think that they can be haunted.
Maybe
with
it's just really evil trees in the bad forests too. Because again,
they're tired of their brothers being cut down. They're like, ah.
Trees can feel pain apparently. Like, and they can they can react. Spinach can do some crazy shit. I forget now. Damn it. Read whole articles, Alissa. Have more knowledge. Something about spinach.
Have you seen that TV show? I want to say that it's on Netflix, Dark Tourist. He's a New Zealander.
No.
Dark Tourist.
That was a good accent.
Highly recommend. But he does an episode about the suicide forest, and he goes in there with somebody who attempted suicide in the suicide forest. Oh, it's such a good series.
Interesting.
You gotta go watch it.
Yeah, I will.
It.
Dark Tourist. Okay.
It's your jam, and he's a New Zealander, so you can just be like, whew, fan yourself a little.
I had a moment a couple years back where I think like scientists had just determined that plants can feel like nothing's safe to eat. You're killing something anyway, any one way or another, and they do feel pain. And I was like, had a real moment of, man, whoa, man, you gotta feel to live, man. If you gotta,
you stoned.
Yeah. If you live, you feel. You gotta feel to live. It's part of life. Like pain is life. Like I
just am envisioning little spinach leaves with faces, and as you're chewing them, they're like, "Ah, what are you doing to me? Oh my god, it hurts so bad." And I'm like, "Ooh, vitamin C." Yes.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "Oh, I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat. I only eat plants. I don't eat anything with a face. I don't eat anything that feels pain." And all the trees are like, "Ah!" Like they can't talk.
They're like, me so
they're
bad.
Like, "I hurt." They're like, "Motherfucker, why don't I have a mouth? I'm screaming." Like they can hear it all.
One of these days, we'll have the technology to hear what our little spinach and trees are saying.
I don't want to hear that.
I don't want to. No. I sing to my plants, so hopefully
it works.
They'll probably be like, "Can you please stop singing? Actually, I'll grow better for you."
Oh, God damn it! Guess what? My foot's asleep. Grandma. She just wants to be a part of this so bad. She is a part of it. Grandma, it's okay. It's okay.
Get me in that leg.
She's doing some like big band dance music over here. Like what is it? The Charleston? No, that's probably before her time.
Yeah.
I don't know what you did. Swing. She's swing dancing. This left leg. Okay. I have a question for you, Britt.
Okay.
What would you wear if you were a ghost?
Well, it sure as hell wouldn't be a long white nightie.
No?
No, absolutely not. You know what we don't see a lot of? Naked ghosts. Maybe I would just be naked. And that would genuinely frighten anybody.
I love that idea. Why don't we see more naked ghosts?
I know, some ding-along and titties hanging out everywhere. Like, that would be truly waking up, and instead of having someone stare at you, just wake up in front of a dong. It's like, horror.
My mind is
Or,
blown.
I mean, maybe you're lonely and you're like, hey, ghost, what's up?
Hey. You again. Hop on in bed here. Snuggle. What? Maybe nudist colonies. Do you think that nudist colonies have naked ghosts? This is a question.
Well, there's a lot of seniors in nudist colonies, so you know that they have, like, died and are haunting the place there.
You know what?
Are they nude?
There is a nudist colony that lives around the corner from me. Very close. There's a nudist colony. Very close. We've tried to look at it on Google Maps, Odin and I. We had a good old time with that.
That's a perfect activity with your 10-year-old.
He was the one who asked.
Naked people.
It's very low resolution. You can just see little pink dots.
Damn.
But I wonder if I post that on up in the old next door, if I might get a nudist to respond. That's possible. That's a great question.
Well, and especially with, your neighborhood they love all those spooky stories. Surely somebody has something.
Throw that one out there. Okay, what I'm gonna haunt in. I kind of love the idea of like some ornate Victorian garb, like some beautiful. I never wear that. That's not like, it's not gonna happen. Right? I'm going to be, what am I wearing? Right? I'm wearing like jeans and a shirt. That's probably what I'm going to end up wearing, correct? How does this work?
Can you choose?
Is it like an avatar in a video game? You can.
Yeah. I said, I know. I don't know, but sure. We're experts. I forgot about that. After you die, yes, you get to choose your outfit. It's like the montage in a lovely 90s movie. Where you just like coming out of the dressing room, like dun, 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 dun,
this is my
look at this silly outfit. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
This also brings us back to that die suddenly, die slowly sort of thing. So I think it does sound like if you die tragically, you're kind of stuck in the outfit you're wearing that day until you realize you're dead.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, on the plus side, I'm always wearing comfortable clothes, so I'll be comfortable in the afterlife.
I am not.
Sweatpants. You're not.
I wear pants that are too tight and my knees hurt. And then my leg. That's probably what my leg falls asleep. My pants are too tight.
Just cutting off all the circulation from your legs.
And apparently skinny jeans are not hip anymore. You heard. Oh God. That's okay. I haven't bought like any clothes since before I was pregnant. It's time.
You know what are hip? The pants I'm wearing. Holy sweatpants. In style.
What would be the worst thing that you could possibly die tragically in and be stuck wearing for eternity? What would be that? What?
Oh, God. The underwire bra.
Yeah.
If I had to wear that for eternity, hell. I'm in hell right away.
I agree with this. A cross back thing. I was thinking more of like, I've had to wear some really terrible work uniforms before. Oh, and there was that one that I wore that looked like a maid dress, which would actually be kind of an awesome haunting dress, though. Like I'd make that. It is
almost Victorian.
Yeah, maybe that would be my top choice for haunting.
If you when I have to wear dresses and stuff, you probably don't because you're a twig, but like throwing on some Spanx where it's just like everything is
Oh,
I mean, think about the Victorian women who had the corsets.
dude.
Tight it up tight.
I just think about
having to live in that.
heartburn. Did they not just live with chronic heartburn and indigestion?
That's why they're constantly passing out. They're just like,
and faint. You're probably right because they can't freaking breathe. I had to wear a turtleneck when I worked for the Bridgestone Winter Driving School. A white turtleneck. I got it for 69 cents at Walmart. Probably wouldn't want to be wearing that for eternity. Wegmans, I was a checkout girl and I had to wear some really horrible like pants and like button up shirts for that. Any like work uniform, that'd probably be the worst to be stuck in for eternity.
True. I'll agree with that. What's coming to mind are my greasy Applebee's polos from when I waited tables.
Yes. The Applebee's.
I was 20, so I never washed them. They're so filthy. It's so gross.
100% nude is the best. That's the outfit. That's the best, 100% best outfit to haunt in. I agree.
That's a good question.
Because it's just too risky otherwise. You never know what you'll be stuck in. Just walk around naked.
Oh,
join the news colony.
I see where you get this question. Okay, so there's actually a handful of if we were ghost questions here. Who would you haunt the most? Also, maybe if you don't know who, where, location. If not a person, what location?
I know she doesn't listen, but at this point, I would haunt my sister-in-law, Astrid. For sure, 1,000%. Number one person I would haunt.
Because she would see you or because she'd get a kick out of it?
Just because she's a pain in the ass and she deserves it. But I guess also, are we we're spooky bad haunting, or are we visiting and warming hearts? Because if we're like visiting,
you get to choose.
Well, okay, if we're visiting and reminding people of our memory and whatnot, and trying to be like, hey, we're still here, we're with you. Of course, I'd haunt my children and my family and you and my friends.
Please do.
You know, if I am trying to. Oh, I would if I want to cause some trouble, I would try to, like, evil people. I would just try to make them fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
poltergeist the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? Who would you haunt?
Number one, forefront of my mind would be you, because you have never had an experience. So I would put all of my energy.
Yes.
And I guarantee you would just either ignore it or just not even realize I was haunting you, no matter how hard
Give me a very
I would try.
specific sign. What would you do?
Okay.
Because I'll be looking for it.
I would, I've heard this one before, that this is a thing. I would pull your hair.
Oh, really?
So like,
no, that I'm not convinced.
It's a thing.
I'm not convinced.
You wouldn't be convinced if your hair was pulled? Okay. Well, what would you be convinced
You gotta
of?
like possess
if my face was in your mirror?
Yeah. Or the
But you wouldn't look in the mirror. That would make you wet yourself.
That's true. Yeah, no, you can't do that. The Lady of the Loo picture you gave me, you need to possess her face and start talking.
Oh, I'll make her like
blink.
Talking is a lot
Make
of
her
energy.
cry.
Maybe can I have her cry? Cry
or wink at me? Like have her wink a bunch.
Ooh, a good wink.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
done.
what I'd like.
Done.
Something to do with the something to do with the Lady of the Loo, the Virgin Mary picture that you sent me. I think that's what's gonna happen.
Done.
Just
done. If I die, you have to hang her in the bathroom though, because that's like your Bermuda Triangle there.
Okay. That's what I have to do.
Yeah.
Have her stare at me.
It's a whole process.
Okay. She's not good where she is. All right.
Have it
Deal.
so when you sit on the toilet, her reflection is in the mirror, and then you're just staring at her, and you're
waiting.
What
just
are we
waiting,
talking
Britt.
about? Oh my God. Okay.
The picture is the key.
Do we have other haunting? Julie asks, would you be a half ghost when you scare people? I mean, haunt people.
Oh, like half sunk into the floor and all short and running at him? Absolutely. Yes. Like if I'm a terror ghost, that would be the funnest. Oh my God. That'd be so fun. Yes, I would do that. Yes, I would run directly at them. Half, I would like go for their ankles.
So fast.
Yeah, because they'd be like scurrying up and jumping on furniture trying to get out of that. Yeah. I would jump, like I would hide in the fridge every so often too. So when they open the refrigerator, you jump right out of their face.
Especially at nighttime.
Mhm,
Yes. I love the idea of banging around some cupboards too. That seems like a good time.
Hiding under the bed, sweeping at their ankles as they get into bed. Yeah. That's it.
Don't do that to me if you
I
want
won't do
me.
that to you. I'll pull your hair.
Okay, you can do that.
I'll braid it.
Maybe can you like fix it too
I'll
while
cut
you're
your
back
bangs.
there? Because
That's it.
Always...
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut your bangs. That's how you'll know it's me. Oh, I will try so hard.
But like in the way that a 3-year-old would if they got a hold of some scissors, where it's just straight up scalp, just right to the scalp. This is what would happen. I wake up and I'm like, what's this? What's this in my mouth? This is hair in my mouth. How did I get hair in my mouth? And then, Alissa, no.
I'd be like, I told her this is what's happening. Chop, 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 chop. That's, you know what? Overall, all in all, I take back all the rest of my answers about how it would haunt. That would be my go-to every single time. You're getting bangs.
Everyone's getting the bangs.
Surprise, bangs.
Bangs, the gift that just keeps giving.
That's an undeniable sign. You can't imagine that. You go to sleep with long hair and you wake up with bangs. 100%.
Alissa, done, haunted. Do you have another question?
I do, Britt. I do.
Okay.
My question for you is, do you have any phobias?
Oh, good question. I do. Escalators. Fucking terrify me so much. You know how, like at the airport, people will just like quickly walk up and down the escalators as if they're not walking on sharp knife blades. And that freaks me out. And especially if I'm with one of my kids, I'm like, hold my hand, just hold it. And then they're like, I don't need the handrail. I was like, hold on to the handrail. I'm a nut. I'm terrified of escalators.
Did you have a bad experience on an escalator?
No, but one time my brother's shoelaces did get stuck in an escalator. I think he just took his shoe off though. And I don't know where it comes from, but I'm just thinking about it now kind of makes me sweat a little
just
bit.
Get sucked into that little slot and shredded like a paper shredder.
No, not even the slot. It's the falling down. You fall down and it's just like knife blade in your face, knife blade in your back. Because those are the sharpest. It's the world's sharpest stair corners.
Okay. As someone who has tried to run up an escalator that was going downwards, it cuts up your shins pretty good.
You fell. Oh God!
And I was pregnant, and we happened to be in front of This was in Denver. Randomly, we were in front of Abby, our friend Grant's
shenanigans.
Wife.
What are you doing that for?
Mitch is what we were doing that for. Because Mitch, we thought it'd be a good idea. I don't know. We were on the level. We were one level below where we wanted to be. All that was between us was an escalator, a one-way escalator.
The wrong direction.
And we tried, and I failed. He made it, and I fell. It wasn't so bad.
Sounds terrifying.
I still will ride an escalator. It's no problem.
What are yours? Do you have a phobia?
For some reason, the thing that keeps coming to mind is phone books. And I don't know if that also is because...
Okay, escalators are way scarier than phone books.
I don't know if it's because it starts with a PH as well. I don't know. I'm not scared of phone books. I hate phone books. I think they're stupid. And I hated getting them. It's not a problem anymore. That took care of itself. Like I always hated getting phone books because
but the trees are not crying anymore because of that.
Yeah, true. I really don't like finding worms in my food either. It's probably one of my fears. Gonna bite into something with a worm.
Oh, worms aren't the worst.
But escalator, I don't know. It's okay.
Don't downplay my phobia.
I think it's completely reasonable.
Although
and
you've had the worst of it being eaten by an escalator, so I can see why I guess you wouldn't be worried about it.
Have you seen one of those kids? There's some like meme or video of a kid like sliding down the railing of an escalator, and he hits some like stop on it and just goes flying and careening into.
And it's like a really steep one
really
too.
Big and really steep. Is that how you ride escalators? If that's the case, then I would also be afraid of escalators if that's the route you take.
I would rather ride that rubber handrail. I would rather ride that rubber handrail than the sharp stairs. It's the sharp stairs, really, that get me.
Yeah, because I almost feel like it's safer.
And that they're moving, and you can't stop. You're not in control. Maybe that's what it's a control thing. You're not in control of like how fast and the steps and it. Yeah.
All you have to do is sit still. Like regular stairs seem more dangerous because you could trip and fall down them. If you just step on an escalator, you're just...
Well, that's what I do when I step on an escalator. First of all, when I step on an escalator, it's elf style, where my foot goes up a good 3 steps before my other foot is brave enough to get on. And then I'm holding for dear life onto the handrail.
I've totally left one of the kids at the bottom of the escalator before because they had that moment of fear, and then like it was a panic, and then like we're at the bottom and some stranger had to bring them up with them. So I feel like I have a very valid fear of escalators yet.
But yet you're not.
I'm not. So I don't know.
This question is for you, Alissa. What areas are you still on the fence with regarding the supernatural? Paranormal.
Oh, am I still on the fence with?
Or alternatively, has your mind been changed on any aspects since you've started the podcast?
So maybe I think I've been pushed more over the fence to like ghosts being real, or I'm more convinced that people have seen them. Like, again, I've never seen one, but I know you. Why would you make that stuff up? Same thing with anyone who's going to risk their reputation to be like, I've seen this thing. Why would you? I mean, you're not like a pathological liar. You're not just making shit up on the regular. Like if so, and the number of people I know now that we've gotten stories from who have had strange and unusual experiences is pretty compelling to me. Also, Chris Sumner, the paranormal, the Soul Sisters, the paranormal researcher, so her videos, she seemed like a very level-headed, research-based person, and some of her videos and the EVPs they've gathered were pretty convincing. I do still have this part of me that resists it. I don't know, So I guess that's what I'm still on the fence for, because if I haven't seen it with my own eyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So. Yeah, but I definitely, I'm convinced that everyone who has had these experiences
you froze.
Are convinced that they were real, to them, just as I know the weird shit that's happened to me that is inexplicable, not necessarily ghosts, and I'm not making that up, I think I've been definitely pushed more to the accepting, but I don't know why I still have this little barrier to it.
I like that all this has made you more of a believer, though. Like, it's like taking you further and further away from your skepticism.
See, but even when you say that, I'm like, I'm not a believer.
A skeptic.
Like, I am a believer. I don't know. It's a very strange, it's like, I love the stories. I think it's so interesting. I feel like the part of me that is still blocking it and being like, I don't know. Like, is it real?
I have a solution.
It's what's keeping me from seeing it too. That part of me. But
I have a solution. I think, and people don't know this, but at the end of our interview with Chris Sumner, she invited us to go on a paranormal investigation with her.
That's true.
And we were both like, oh yeah, sure, haha, sure. I think we should do it.
I think we should do it too.
You go get your shots.
Yep.
You go get your shots. We'll fly on an airplane to wherever they're going. We'll go to a dank, abandoned prison because that's their favorite. And we will find you a ghost. We'll go ghost hunting.
Dude, I think she invited us to Colorado, right? Like, it would be so symbolic.
Oh, that would be the perfect. Yes, because that's where we met.
I'd be totally down with it. I think that I mean, we are paranormal podcasters, Britt. I think this is the shit we're supposed to be doing, is going
Think about that
ghost
episode.
hunting.
Great content.
It'd be great. I mean, yeah, we'll see what I'm convinced of. I don't know. I hear myself. I'm going into it even like, if we experience something, I know I'm going to try to write it off as not there.
She straight up has video of a shadow person walking across laser beams. If you saw that, you would say like, fake. You probably would.
I just saw laser beams going dark, and then my brain thinks of all the different reasons why or how or something. Like, ghosts are sure one of the possibilities. I don't know. But some of the things that like she recorded, the kids' voices, like some of the voices that like were not there,
yeah.
I thought were pretty interesting. So no,
the voices that they could hear themselves too. Those are the ones that are pretty freaky.
Yeah.
Like without the recorder, where it's like, Alissa.
There's definitely
Like,
more.
says your
I
name.
do think there's more than what we see that meets the eye. I think that's like, and I think I'm more convinced of that. And I want it to be
Yeah.
true. Like I said, I definitely want it to be true. So yeah, that's, I don't know. But I'm still also on the fence. So both. I've been pushed further up
Okay.
the fence, over the
Okay.
fence. I'm like hanging, I'm dangling on the fence. I got caught up in the barbed wire. I can't get free.
Like you
of the
just
fence.
your pant leg.
Yeah,
It's got
I'm still
your pant
stuck on the
leg.
fence. Anything? What about you, Britt? It's the UFOs, right? Just say it. You now believe in aliens. Good, great. Glad we got that cleared up.
Yep, done. I will say orbs. I'm less a believer of the orb. I used to be like, ooh, cool, spirit. And now I'm like, oh, yeah, no. I'm like, I can throw in that skeptic now. Like you said, though, with people who are telling these stories, though, like these aren't fanciful. That's not a word, but I'm making it up. Fanciful people who love to spin tales. Like these are people, I've heard stories now from people who said, I've never told anybody this, and I'm going to tell you, because they're like worried of being judged.
Yeah.
And that's, I want to make this a safe space to like, I believe you. I think your story's awesome. Like, terrifying, yes, but also like not something that you have to like tamp down and hold in and be afraid to share.
Yeah, I mean, I've had people want to be anonymous sharing it. I mean, because they don't want to be judged, but they, like they're like, I understand people will think
Yes.
this is crazy, but I'm going to tell you, you just have to keep me anonymous. So all of that,
Yeah.
like, I think it's fascinating. Again, I am like frustratingly stubborn person to many people that like, I need to see it with my own eyes. Or if you tell me something that I'm like, bullshit, until I see it. But these stories, I believe people saw that. Like, I don't think that they're making it up by any means, but I want,
Right.
like, it's like,
You just
I
want
wanna
to
see
be
it.
able to like,
I
yeah.
also see you, my friend, getting kind of into the cryptids. I feel like that's something you've really embraced.
Oh, I was like, you're right. Someone would talk about Bigfoot and I would just be like, ha ha. But I don't know, the more I kind of research this and the Wendigo, and I don't know, to me, I'm fascinated by that stuff. Just because it's a lot, the fact that just so many people have seen it is, I don't know,
think that's
feels
it,
exciting.
So many people. All right, I've got another question for you, and this one comes from
Okay.
Danny, and she asks, have you ever thought something was paranormal only to realize it was your brain playing tricks on you? I'm talking like serious tricks too.
Oh, like Mike's rolled up rug in the corner. I thought it was ghosting. That's so funny that this was asked because Liam just celebrated a birthday. My son just celebrated a birthday. And it reminded me actually of something that happened a few years ago. I was in my bedroom and I hear from the other bedroom, dunk, dunk, dunk. And it was really quiet. And I'm listening. I'm like, that's weird. What is that? Quiet. Dunk, dunk. And I'm like, I know nobody's upstairs in this room. and it's really loud. And so I slowly go over there. In my head, I'm like, okay, this could possibly be like a spirit messing with me. Like this could be, or maybe there's like, I don't know, maybe something paranormal happening. I go in and it is one of those Mylar balloons that just keeps hitting the fan, and it's like, dunk. But then the wind of the fan blows it around the room, and then it takes a while to eventually make its way back to the fan. Dunk, dunk. So this fan terrified me. And I want to say I even got close to the room and saw the movement of the shadow of the balloon and was like, oh my gosh, what's in there? Yeah. And then it was the balloon.
And your brain is like, no, there it really is. Like, there's probably that
rational,
I'm making this up. And then, no, oh my God, wait, I really am hearing this noise. Oh my God, what is this noise? What is in here? So I don't think this counts as like my mind playing tricks on me, but you hearing noises. I did think of something that was probably one of the more terrifying moments that happened to me. That was brought up as a question in the last episode, but in the intro.
Yes, the most terrifying moment.
And it's pretty entertaining,
yes.
So it might be a good thing to end on. So it was a couple years back now. I was in our den watching TV. Mitch had already gone to bed, and we sleep with our phones in airplane mode because of the waves or whatever. We don't need them irradiating our brains in the middle of the night. So it's just always off. So it was midnight and everyone's asleep, and I hear a knock at the front door, and I live like a firm and I'm like,
no.
What? Who the hell would be knocking in the middle of the night? And so
Mitch is already
asleep. And I live on like a dead end road in like the middle of nowhere, the woods. Like it's not, it's very abnormal for somebody to knock in the middle of the night. And so I just ignore it. I'm like, I'm not answering that. Fuck that. I don't know who that is. Not answering it. But again, at this point,
a second time,
and I'm like, oh shit, like what the fuck? What the fuck? Like why? So my brain goes to like attacker. Someone's trying to get in, like this is not normal. Like
absolutely.
What is happening? So in order to go to the bedroom to get Mitch, I have to pass by our front door, which is glass. Like there's no hiding. I have to go by. And so then I think they actually like knocks again, like, and at that point, I'm like kind of freaking out because I tried to call Mitch on my phone and it's on airplane mode. So he's not answering his phone. And so then I'm just like, I yell his name. I'm like, Mitch, Mitch. And at that point, I hear from the front door, police.
No.
And I was like, wait, what? And so I go to the front door, and sure enough, there's a police officer standing there. I can see him because, like I said, I have a glass front door. There's glass side lights. Like, it's very apparent to see him. And I was like, hi. He's like, open the door. I was like, I don't want to.
No.
I was like, how do I know you're the police? I literally said that. I'm like, how do I know you're the police? He's like, well, look at my uniform. Look at my gun. I'm like, that's exactly what an imposter would say.
You did not say that.
He was not pleased with me. And he keeps asking me, he's like, is there a male in the house? Is there a man in the house? And I was like, what?
What?
I'm like, yeah.
That does not sound legit.
Right, exactly. Like to me, he's like scoping to see if there's a man home or if I'm home alone, a single lady, whatever. The single lady.
Exactly.
So he asks if there's a man at home. I'm like, my husband is sleeping. He's in the other room sleeping. I won't open the door for him because I didn't call the police. I don't need to open the door for this guy. I can see him. Exactly. We were talking through the glass. He can hear me. No problem. So then he's like, there was a phone call that came from like this address. A cell phone called 911 and then it hung up. And I was like, well, I didn't call 911. I don't know. And there was a man's voice talking in it. They could hear a man. I think maybe he sounded like he was in distress. And I was like, no, I didn't call anyone. He's like, well, they can ping it or something. And it came from in between your house and the next door neighbor's house. And your lights were on. So that's why I'm here. And so he keeps asking about a man if he's home. And he's like, can you please go get your husband? So I eventually I go get Mitch. I was like, hey, the cops are here and they want to see you. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Just come to the front door. So he comes.
Yeah.
And at that point, Mitch opens the front door for him. And the cop explains, he's like, oh, okay. I just want to make sure you were okay and you're here. And at that point, I realized that he keeps asking if a male is home, not to see if like I was home alone, but because he thought I freaking killed him.
You were the one.
Yes, he thought like I'm not answering the door. They get a hang up call and I won't go get my husband who's sleeping in the other room. And I realized then that they thought I had murdered Mitch. And he called 911. I was like, no.
You were the villain.
Uh-huh.
But who was the distressed man in between your yards?
Never found out, but they totally thought I killed Mitch, and I thought they were trying to kill me, and it was this whole circle of suspicion.
No, that's truly terrifying.
Yeah, it was scary.
Well, look at my uniform, look at my gun. I'm like, I wouldn't trust
no,
that.
I'm not.
That's exactly what an imposter would say.
I don't need to open the door like there was no reason I need to open the door, so I didn't.
That's a good story. Y'all, thank you so much for these questions. Yeah. This was like really fun.
It was really fun. And if all these questions spurred questions of your own, I was thinking today about skeletons and their capabilities. Actually, I was thinking about what do bones taste like. I didn't want to admit that, but everyone knows sort of what a bone tastes like. If you eat chicken wings.
Everyone's gnawed on a bone here and there, right?
That's not a question we need to be asking. But you know what I'm saying. Ouija boards. We didn't get a single Ouija board question, right?
Funnily, I don't think that's a word. But Liam asked, I was telling him we were going to do a question and answer episode, and he was like, I've got a good question. And okay, I'm ready. Who invented the Ouija board? I was like, that's a good question. But also I don't want to do homework, so I don't know.
Liam, if you're listening, it was not invented in France. I believe it came from Baltimore, Maryland.
Did you research
I researched that tiny little bit. I know it's not from France, and I'm pretty sure it's from Baltimore. So there you go. There's one little clue.
Okay.
We're putting together the picture of the Ouija board.
If you know the history of the Ouija board or have some Ouija stories yourself, did you do it as a kid, an adult, last week? Tell us your Ouija stories.
I want to hear some
of those
stories.
There's lots of ways you can share your story. You can email us
at SkeleTalesPodcast@gmail.com. Or if you don't feel like taking the time to write it all out and you want to speak your stories to us, please give us a call. Britt has the phone number.
302-689-DEAD. 302-689-3323. We are on all of the socials, SkeleTales Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
We have a merch shop. We've got
stickers, keychains, notebooks, shirts, mugs.
Yeah.
All the good stuff. You can find that on our socials. You can also find that on our website, skeletalespodcast.com. And podcast things. Tell us, what should we do?
Please go over, hit that 5th star, farthest star to the right on that Apple podcast app. That will rate us. We love that. Share it. Hey, tell a friend about it. You're out and about more because of this apocalypse is kind of winding down. Tell your friends, I got this horrible commute. Hey, you know, it'd make your commute a little more enjoyable. SkeleTales. Nice steaming cup of
little SkeleTales. I want somebody to write us a review. I love those. They delight me. I want some more.
A positive review. Have we had one recently?
Oh, yeah, I forgot to say that part. Positive.
Only positive reviews, please.
Do we forget anything?
I don't know. It's a weird format doing questions and answers because I feel like we didn't.
I know. We'll be back to, actually, we've got a fun one next week, but I'm not going to spoil
it.
anything.
Yes. No, but this was fun. It was a nice, hey, man, congratulations again. I just want to say congratulations again to us for episodes 30.
Yes, for over
31.
30.
I'm proud of us. I am. And thank you for everyone out there who's been listening and sticking with us, and you have done all those things,
I
because
know.
it's pretty rad and it keeps us going. All those positive words of encouragement.
Genuinely
Yeah.
appreciate it.
So,
yeah.
oh, hey, Brett.
Hey,
Brett.
yeah.
Haunt you later.
Haunt y'all later.
Good night.
Good night.